JH Sports and Entertainment.
Yo, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? Back at you with another one, back with another video. Um, Again, as you already know, not a lot of things happening, so I decided to make a video today to discuss. Now, first of all, I want to say that Eddie Hearn, what he's done for boxing in Britain. I'm talking about what he's done for boxing in the UK. I know that he's took the zone to America, and if you guys remember, he's going to crack America. He was going to become the biggest promoter, the biggest promoter in American boxing and all that, and that just didn't, right? It just didn't happen, you know. But what I want to say is what Eddie Hearn has done for boxing in Britain has been fantastic. He's bought some huge fights and shone a bright light in boxing in the United Kingdom. Done wonders with Anthony Joshua and many fighters that he's represented. He's certainly made boxing relevant in Britain, made boxing a huge sport in Britain, and has done fantastic. No doubt about that. You know what I'm saying? No question. But the thing is with him and his pops and his dad Barry Hearn is, I think that they have huge egos. They have big egos, meaning that that they run boxing, and how they would run fights, or how they think a certain fight should go, or where a certain fight should be. That they think that they're the only ones with a voice, and that they control boxing in the world, which they do not, But Eddie Hearn is a great promoter, no question about that. I don't doubt that for a second or deny that. I think he is. I think he's very good at what he does. He was born to do what he does, and as far as I'm concerned, I do think that. I think he was born to be a boxing promoter and do what he's doing. But he does. You remember the situation with when he was trying to sign to get Deontay Wilder, and there was a time when he was trying to get. I know that people like to say this, and like to say that the big is not. He's not that great, and they called him the boogeyman of the division, and other people were saying, well, Ortiz is not, Ortiz is who is he for, and all this kind of stuff. But to me, just thinking about it, like the Ortiz situation was, he was an avoided fight as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people didn't want it. He was high risk for small reward, if you want. A lot of people didn't want to fight Ortiz, but anyway, he tried to sign Ortiz and tried to get Wilder, and I think it was all part of the plan, for the. You see, the thing is, with his biggest is Anthony Joshua. He's like what Tupac was to Suge Knight. That's what Anthony Joshua is to Eddie Hearn. So he's put him in some risky fights, of course. The Klitschko fight, and the likes of Alexander Povetkin, Joseph Parker, and things like that. But he is the cash cow for Eddie. I think it went wrong for him. It didn't go wrong for him, but I just think it didn't go as planned for Eddie when he went to the US and launched DAZN, and he thought that would become bigger than the boxing networks that have been running for years. He said it was the end of the pay-per-view model. It was all going to be about streaming and this and that, and that's not the case at all. Not the case at all. I think the pay-per-view model still works extremely well. As you can see, people still buy fights. I think it's going to be around for a long time to come. I don't think that DAZN is the end of the end of networks and the end of pay-per-view models and things of that nature. I just don't think so. But like I said, I mean, Eddie Hearn's been doing a lot of video, via Skype or FaceTime or whatever they use. But he's been on IFL TV and all different YouTube channels, and they're always like 30 minutes plus, and he has the guy has a hell of an ego. The guy has a hell of an ego. I'm not saying that he's he's not a bad person. Or I don't think he tries to rob people or anything like that. But like he's just he does have a hell of an ego on him. I'm sure you'd agree when you see him. It's kind of like the sport. It's all about him. He's a me type of person. Comes across that way. But like I said, done fantastic in boxing for British boxing at least anyway. Done a fantastic job with Anthony Joshua. I know Anthony Joshua isn't a big star in America by any means, and the night in Brooklyn went spectacularly wrong for him, and he doesn't feel comfortable in America anyway. But I think that was a shock to Eddie Hearn and as well. It was a shock that it went the way the fight went with Andy Ruiz. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think Hearn's going to be around for a long time to come, and will do great things here. Like I say, they do these huge fights in Britain in the soccer stadiums, which is it's not really that ain't really my thing to go and go to London and watch it. It's the big soccer stadium events and things like that. I prefer an intimate a smaller crowd. I even like York Hall actually. If you guys know York Hall, it's quite a small, really small venue, but I like the of a small venue. I'm not really one for big, huge, stadiums. It's not my thing. I prefer intimate settings for sports. I enjoy sport more that way, personally. But I'm sure that they will. I'm sure that they'll put on, spectacular events when things do calm down and things, and you are able and allowed to do that again. I'm sure they will. I'm sure that. If it happens, I know in America. Listen, I know that in America that the undisputed the Joshua Fury undisputed fight isn't. I don't think it's really that big of a deal in the States. I think people do want to say it. Would like to say it, but in Britain, obviously, it's a big deal over here. Would be the undisputed fight. Would be a huge deal, and Eddie Hearn would do really well with it, and would do, it could, but again, it could be in Saudi Arabia or who knows where it could be, who knows where that could actually end up being. But yeah, like I say, just got a chip on his shoulder, and Eddie, you don't run boxing worldwide, you just don't, you may think you do or whatever, but you don't run. Your opinion is not the only opinion that matters here. You have the obviously you have the fighters, you have the fighters, you have their own promoters, whether it's whoever that might be, American promoters and Bob Arman or whoever, but you don't run boxing worldwide. Fantastic, you've done great here. Certainly you've done. I'm certainly impressed with what he has done in British boxing for sure. But he kind of just behaves like it's like him and his team are their opinion matters more than anybody else's, and they're the only ones who can put on these big fights, which is not true, which is not true. But yeah, some of these IFL and in different places, different interviews that he does, you'll kind of see what I mean, and but he's as clueless as we are right now, of like I say, of where to have the fight, where can we have the fight, and I just can't. It's gonna be weird. I just cannot imagine a time anytime soon at all of a fight being in the UK, a big fight like that, like a soccer stadium fight, if that's what he wants to put on. And who would it be? Because even the Anthony Joshua Pulev fight, even the people in America, they're not exactly crying out for that either. People. You see, the thing is here, because you can put Joshua in a fight with anybody, and you can put it in the boxing. Think he's the pinnacle of the sport for some reason. People, over here, a lot of people over here think that Joshua is the creme de la creme. I'm not sure why. 'Cause like I say, I think he is. I think he is a good fighter. Definitely a good fight. Can definitely mix it up, and I don't think he's far from the best or anything like that. But I think he's decent enough. But I just don't think he's. I don't think he's I don't understand why people think he's that great. Because he's not. Even the thing with Deontay, right? Like Deontay Wilder, the type of fighter that he is, the knockout artist that he is, and how exciting he is as a fighter. And you watch the fights, go back and watch any apart from the Fury fights. Go back and watch any of his fights. They're exciting. That he knocks people out. he's box office. He really is, and I don't understand why. Wilder should have been at one time the biggest star in boxing. Should have been the most watched. He should have been what Joshua is in the UK, in America. I think Wilder should have been that, because he is exciting. He was, not was, he is. He still is. He has. I was going to say 2 losses there, but he doesn't. It's the 1 loss. He had the draw, so he has 1 loss. But he is an explosive, exciting fighter. I was always, every time a Wilder fight was on, I was on the edge of my seat. On the edge to watch Wilder. But for some reason over here, like I say, you can put him in. You can put Joshua in with a bum. Anybody's journeyman or whoever, anybody, right? Put Joshua in over here in Britain, and people will pay decent money, and will fill the arenas and stadiums, But I don't understand, like I say, why people think he's that great. Good boxer, certainly is good, but it makes me. I was thinking about this and the other day as well. I was just thinking, I wish that Wilder fight had have happened. I wish Joshua had fought Wilder at least one time. I just would love to have seen it. That would have been an exciting fight. Would have sold anywhere in the world, I believe, and it probably still will. But you say in boxing, things can change. You're only as good as your last fight in boxing. You really are. You're only as good as your last fight, your last performance. If your last performance was so, you didn't do too well, and you're judged on that. So boxing is all about timing, and it's a short career, as in any sport. You watch anybody's career, you watch any athlete's career, it's very short, So you need to take these fights when they come up, because they're not always guaranteed to be there in the future. This proves the situation that we've all found ourselves in, proves that you just do not know what is going to happen. You really don't. You don't know what's going to happen. So you need to kind of jump on these things, and like I say, what can we do? What can we do? I just wanted to make this video and just give my opinion real quick about Hearn, and like I say, I do respect what he's done, but I just think that he does need to realize you do not run the world. You don't represent world boxing. You don't run world boxing. There is many different promoters and different people in the business, and you've done fantastic here. I give nothing but props for what he has done in Britain, and will continue to do, I'm sure. But I just think that, like I say, the DAZN thing, I've never, what it is as well, personally, I've never had DAZN. I've never, I know it, you can get it here in the UK now, but I've never had it. Not interested in it, because all I hear is the fights are just shit. They don't put great fights on. They might get the great fight here and there, but apparently it's not worth the money. I've heard many people say that they've had their free trial, and they've they haven't went forward and kept it on and paid for it beyond that. So I've never had it and not really interested in it. You can't. You see, the thing is, especially in America as well, you can't con people and just tell them buy this and without giving great content. You have to give people value for money, is what I'm trying to say. You've got to give people value for money, is the only way, especially in the States, because Americans, they ain't stupid. People ain't stupid here either, but it's just that people think with America, the size of the country and how much money, there's so much money in America that you can just I'll crack America, no problem, and this and that, and it just didn't work out as he had planned. But yeah, so I just wanted to drop this one, guys. Leave a comment if you want. Please subscribe, and I appreciate it. See you guys soon.